Yes, people, we are back live. We are back live on the Sarcasm City TV YouTube for another Sarcasm City TV special. So for those that haven't seen the Sarcasm City TV specials before, it's where I sit down with the biggest, one of the biggest and the best content creators in the game. So before, I've had Saeed on the channel. I've had Saeed on the Sarcasm City TV specials, Lee Gunner, Goonie, plus more. So like I said, it's all about giving people their flowers. That's what it that's what this show is all about, is giving people their flowers, and obviously sitting down with the content creator and getting their current thoughts on their current teams and all the other biggest news in regards to the Premier League as well. But before we get into who that is, make sure you hit the like button on the video. Vitally important you do that. There's over 100 of you locked in already because you've just come over from this Legends channel. So let's bump up the likes because there's over 100 of you lot in here. I'm only at 15 likes. So let's get that up to 40 likes. Let's get that, and subscribe to the channel if you are indeed new as well, people. Make sure you hit the subscribe button. I see you lot trolling about the Liverpool Manchester United result. You lot are jokers, I swear down. I swear he's laughing behind the streams as well. But this done here, like I said, don't get his flowers. You know what I mean? For me, personally, I don't think he gets his flowers enough, not only for the quality of the content he creates, but also the consistency he has and longevity. He's been around for the longest. You know what I'm saying? He's been around and putting out consistently good quality content for the longest. And when it comes to Mount Rushmore, my own channel, I was thinking about this as before I was just went live, and I was like, if there was a Sarcasm City Mount Rushmore, he gets on it, because he's done so much over here. So I got welcome the legend himself, my like Carefree Lewis G in the building. Yes, family.
Big up, my guy. Big up, bro. What's everybody saying? Big up, everybody in the comments. Hella sevens, as I expected. Big up to everybody, as always. And yeah,
that's 7.
2 wins on the bounce, people. Let's go. Let's go. Love for the intro as well, though. That was a great intro. Appreciate
it's only right, man. That's what it's about. You don't have to wait till people pass to give them their flowers. So it's only right. And I meant that when I said that. When it comes to my channel, here, Sarcasm City, if we do around Mount Rushmore, you get on it. If there's 4,
yeah, and guys, this
heads
is my second home, people. So everybody sub. Everybody sub.
Make sure you hit the sub, yeah, and big up to everyone in the chat trolling. But we'll get to Manchester United because I'm sure you want to give your thoughts on that. But first and foremost, we'll start with your football club, Chelsea, getting through to the quarterfinals, getting past Dortmund 2-0 yesterday. And Graham Potter won both, wins his 2 must-win games, obviously beating Dortmund and beating Leeds. So we'll start with the one yesterday. Thoughts on the game? You was there. I know Stamford Bridge was rocking. Talk to us about it, family.
Yeah, for the first time in ages, Stamford Bridge was rocking. Like, that was unbelievable. Players, fans, the manager, so everybody just stepped up and they realized the occasion for the first time in ages. I have nothing but positive thoughts coming out of that game. And I don't want to get ahead of myself because I do think this is as far as we're going to get unless we get either Benfica or we get whoever's the winner of Spurs v Milan. But at least we get one more European away, potentially.
There you go. What about Inter Milan, Porto?
Oh, you know what? I'd love Inter Milan. Inter Milan, bring me Luca Potamus back at the bridge in an Inter shirt because I know we'll keep a clean sheet on his head. And all the Lukaku slander for 90 minutes, I'm here for it. I'm 100% here for it. There are a couple opportunities for us to make the semis when you deep it. Absolutely. But I do not want to get ahead of myself. I've done it too many times. And I've been burned. For me, I'm just happy we progressed to quarters. We've got something for like motivational purposes over the next few games, but this is what a confidence building result is, because like a lot of people are now trying to downplay Dortmund because we beat them, and it's like, well, Dortmund have been unbeaten all year.
True.
Like, what are we doing? Dortmund are pushing Bayern in the Bundesliga for the first time in years. Like, they're not easy to beat. They're not. Like, we looked like we had the chances last game and this game, but we know we're not really that great with finishing anyway. We're still able to keep a clean sheet. We're able to do well in spite of losing the midfield battle because we were struggling in midfield in that first half. It's a brilliant performance from us. So many people stepped up. Cucurella, unbelievable at left centre-back. Havertz, you know how much I have gunned for Havertz.
You have gone for Havertz. You have, and rightfully so.
I think it's the closest performance I've seen to the Champions League final since the Champions League final. And to me, that's vindicated me Because a lot of people, there's actually not been a lot of people who've said that you're in the mud, because now they finally realize what I've been on all season. I've said, here is the standard. Do not hype performances here to me, because I'm not listening. I'm not listening to that crap.
That's right. That's
Havertz,
right.
for the first time in years, played at this level. And I'm not going to say a single bad word about that. I'm not going to be like, oh, but he gave away too many fouls in the first half. I don't care about fouls when you play well. Look at Diego Costa, for example. That guy was a walking suspension, but he was walking goals too. So who cares? Who cares?
I called him a walking suspension. Now you're right.
Do you remember 15-16? That guy would get about a game off every month because he'd do some stupidness. He'd be our top goal scorer every year too. So I'd be like, fine, do your thing, because we know you'll turn up when we need you to turn up. Havertz, foul all you want, because if you're going to make the decisions that you do like that, if you're going to make passing like that, if you're going to actually hold up the ball like that as well, do your thing. I don't care, because it's all about the benefit of my football club. And that's the first time in ages where I said Havertz ain't holding us back. If anything, he was just a Cucurella masterclass away from winning the Man of the Match award himself. The best attacker by an absolute mile. That is where the standard is now. Not just for him, for a lot of the players. But unbelievable performance by us. I hope we can build on it going into a Leicester game, because that's a good opportunity to get 3 wins in 3. And I back us to get a clean sheet. But, I mean, we do have to see. Like, it would be typical Chelsea to go batter Dortmund and then draw 1-1 away at Leicester. It'd just be Chelsea, that.
Yeah, that would just be Chelsea. And then does that deflate and bring you right back down to earth if it then becomes average performances from players, poor performances, Potter's poor tactically, he's slow with the subs, or he switches up the lineup? Would it just like put a pin in the balloon?
It piss me off initially, but it's like, all I really wanted was 40 points. I don't really care past that. Like, if we can get a consistent run of games, maybe we could seriously talk about getting into the European places, because I don't think we're too many points away from that. But it's about showing that consistency game in and game out. We're just not capable of that. It all depends on what happens. But I know if we drop points, it will always be to some stupidness. Either poor game management, poor finishing, or transition. I don't know. But, like, as long as we get to that 40 points, I'm going to start caring a lot less from that point until we get to the quarterfinals. And even then, the quarterfinals, it depends on who we get. If we get a Real or a City or something ridiculous, I'm not even invested. I'm just there for the day out.
So you're not trying to see Real Madrid, Bayern Munich, Napoli, Manchester City. They're the teams you're looking at. They're the 4 you're going, nah.
I'm in 2 minds. Because for me, it's like, we could make the semis if we get the right draw. But I'm also just thinking, I wouldn't say no to a trip to Madrid. I wouldn't say no to a trip to Naples, even if we're going to lose.
Yeah, that's from a personal perspective for you being able to go out to Spain or to go out to Italy. But I'm talking from a footballing perspective. Obviously, they're the two
from a
teams
footballing perspective, give me Benfica, Inter, or the winner of Spurs Milan, and nobody else.
What about from a personal perspective? Where are the 2 top destinations you would like to go to? Forget the football.
Personal perspective. I didn't go Real Madrid, and in spite of the heartbreaking result, I do wish I went last season. So I do Real Madrid. I'd say Bayern if it didn't already go Germany. I can't really be bothered for Germany twice. And I know Fata was talking about Leipzig, but spare me 2 games of Timo Werner prop from our tapped fan base. I'm good.
I'm not normally in agreement with Timo, but if Leipzig are in the draw, that means Manchester City went out. I'm all for that. Even though City are going to knock.
I get that. Yeah. I get that, but I can't be bothered for Leipzig away, really. That's just long. Fucking long. But maybe Porto. If Porto went through, I'll take a trip back to Porto just for the vibes and the memories. And plus, that city was nice. Good weather, good vibes, good scenes. The stadium's nice. If I'll take anywhere in Portugal, really, give me somewhere hot. Give me somewhere hot. I'm sick of cold weather.
All right, first, big up Zach here with the super chat. You just said big up Flawless, and he put a 7 in the L. That's good. I can't lie. That's good.
Big up Zach.
Day Zach. give you credit. That's a goodie. You know what I'm saying? And that with the 7 there. And Lewis, love for the super chat, much appreciated. Of course, you lot get your questions in. If you do super chat, I will make sure I get to them. But obviously, Sarcasm City TV specials are more just long form conversations. Over 140 of you lot locked in, which is big. But let's go. We're only at 34 likes. Let's go 50 likes, people. Let's bump up the likes. You know what I'm saying? That is the like check. If you don't want me
Run
to
it up.
if you don't want me to keep interrupting Lewis and hear what he has to say, run the likes up. Let's get up to 50 likes. Everyone in all the mods, everybody get that up in the chat, please. And where are we at? 5,622. Let's go 5,630. We're looking for 8 more subs. You know what I'm saying? 8 more subscribers. Hit the subscribe button, hit the notification bell as well. And don't forget, link is in the membership for the pin comment. That's many great perks. And yeah, to Alwyn who's asking, buying PSG, yes, we are doing on the Twitch. So yeah, check out the membership, many great perks. I'm seeing all the green usernames. And don't forget Lewis's channel, links in the title. What astronomical number are you up to? Link is in the title. What number is what you on the road to?
I haven't even looked.
See, you don't even know what big number he's on way to. He's on
31. Oh, 31.8. So we could get to 32k soon. So
yo, yeah, 32k. Go subscribe to Lewis. If you fuck with me in any way, shape, or form on Sarcasm City, make sure you go subscribe to Lewis's channel as well, because that's my second home. So make sure you go subscribe over
every
there.
time.
So you beat Dortmund. Obviously, you're looking at the draw. You're looking at Leicester. I want to just rewind even further though. The Leeds game, because leading up to that, the whole conversation was Graham Potter must win these 2 games. And if he doesn't beat Leeds and the performance isn't too good, he's under severe pressure going into that Dortmund game. And you spoke on the relief from Chelsea supporters in the ground. People were hugging after you beat Leeds. So what was it like in the stadium during that period, during that game?
Yeah, the vibe was different. Like Leeds, it was relief. Dortmund was actual celebration. Like everybody was just gassed. Leeds was like, we treated them like it was Real Madrid. Genuinely like it was Real Madrid. Got a goal from a set piece, held it to death. And yeah, that was just it. Big up to Neil as well, my guy.
Yeah,
that goal was made in Leicester. Chilwell to Fofana. Big up every single time. And yeah, that Leeds game, it wasn't pretty. It was a little bit like 30-minute FC. Had chances to kill the game off early. Felix hit the crossbar. Havertz with a poor 1v1. But it's the defense. It's that back 5. We've done a full 360. We wanted to go away from Tuchel ball, went to a back 4, went straight back to what we already knew at the start, the 3-4-3. Because that midfield still not cohesive enough. The attack still just impotent as hell, like deep it. We scored from a mishit shot against Dortmund, and then the rebound, and then we scored from a retaken penalty. It's jammy as fuck. But we've had such little luck this season. We will take it because you can deal with those sorts of moments when when you have a defense that you know are going to keep clean sheets. I have full faith in our back line. All season I've said, like, defensively, it's not really my biggest issue. My problem is everywhere else. Mendy in goal was just useless. Our midfield was useless. Our attack, I've been going at our attack for about 4 years. But we started going away from the defense. So, I'm glad we finally figured out what we need. And it's like, just stick to the back 5 for now. Results are what matters first. I don't care about seeing no philosophy this early because we still don't have a team that's fully cohesive. Just give me results. Give me pure results. Give me 1 goal and play the most awful, negative brand of football that you want. I don't care. And that's what it's been about the last 2 games. And Potter's like, he's done it as well, but it's also because he's finally had some pressure put on his head. Like, they've actually said, you have to win these 2 games or we're probably going to have to sack you. And now we've finally gone away from that back 4. Don't bring it back. Because my biggest issue that I was always saying with the back 4 was our creativity comes from Chilwell and James. Why are we pulling them further back? There's no reason for it. Chilwell, the last 2 games on that left-hand side, has been one of, if not our best forward. The crossing as well. I don't want to see anybody else on corners anymore because I have had 5 years of shite crosses from the likes of Mount, Felix, James. I can go further back to Fabregas and his short passes to death, or William just bullying the first man every week. Chilwell gets the right delivery. every time. And he's got more of a license to roam forward because you've got 3 defenders sitting back.
Yeah.
Stick to that. Stick to that because that works for us.
Got you. Fair dues, fair dues. Big up to Neil again, like we already said. He stated here, I can't be asked for Saturday, bro. He's saying, please don't relegate us. He also goes on to say, starved. We've lost 15 games in the Premier League, bro. You don't know what starved is, bro. Big up yourself, though. Large up to Neil.
Up. How many games have we
lost? Don't
lost?
relegate us, bro. You have lost. I was actually having a look at your fixtures. You lot have lost 9 games in the Premier League. 25 matches. You've won 9, drew 7, lost 9, 24 goals scored. 25 goals against, 34 points. You know what I'm saying? And you played a game more than like the teams ahead of you, apart from Fulham. So you played
have
one
we
less
got
game.
More goals than wins yet? Nah, not yet. Not yet.
Oh, you mean overall? That's crazy. That's crazy. Justice says this again. You lot get your questions in as well. This is your chance because Lewis's channel be stacked with the comments, and I know we'd be missing.
Give me a quick
questions. Yeah, no stress. We'll get back to it. Lewis says 1 second. Let's bump up them likes, people. Where we at? Like check 1 2 1 2. All right, we're at 55. Let's go 70 likes. Yeah, ironic. I know someone gonna make the joke. Let's go 70 likes, 70. Let's make sure you do that and subscribe to the channel. Right, we hit 5,630 expeditiously. All right, let's go 5,640. That's what we're looking for. 9 more subscribers. And then 9 more subscribers. And when you subscribe, make sure you hit the notification bell. Check out the upcoming live stream schedule as well. It lets you know all the shows that are coming up on the channel. Lewis is frequent here, like he said. It is his second home, people. He's probably going to get more 7-ups or something like that. I get your questions in for Lewis as well. It don't necessarily have to be Chelsea. It may be something else in the Premier League as well, or it may be a certain player. Jester says here, Fofana is back, and that man is worth every penny we spent on him. Do you agree with this? How good was Fofana yesterday?
Not even just yesterday. It's just ever since coming back from injury, he's needed no time to get back into things. Looks confident, looks like he trusts his body, very aggressive off the ball, positionally very aware, aerially such a threat. Like Fofana looks unbelievable. And yeah, like I can't say anything more. He's just done everything right that you could ask from him, and we look very solid as a result of it. Fofana's been brilliant. Unbelievable from him.
Bro, that is fair. Yeah, Ryan. I know what I was doing when I said 70 likes. Like I'm fully aware. That's why I said it as I was saying it. I was like, yeah, so yeah, you lot bump up the likes as well. And Ryan says, he's saying Chelsea fans are pottering. Now I was gonna get to this because I know you're not pottering. But let's say hypothetically you do go on a run, the performances get better, the results stay good. You get a favorable the results are good. And you get a favorable draw in the Champions League, and then you get through to the semi-finals. Then how would you look at Potter?
One thing I've realized, like with this whole Potter in and out debate, it's like that whole player stan argument that I've been so against all season, and it's like I don't care about that argument anymore. Like I just want to judge it on a week by week basis. I wouldn't say I'm Potter in. But I wouldn't say I'm screaming Potter out from my lungs now either. It's like we've got something that works. Yes. Like we are playing very defensive. We're playing. I wouldn't even necessarily say we're playing defensive. To be honest, we're just playing a right formation that gets the best out of our team, and we're just holding whatever we can get, and it's working. So I'm not going to ask for the manager out as a result of that. We've got 2 wins on the bounce. I'm not going to scream Super Graham Potter from the top of my lungs. I don't think he's done enough for that either, but Potter's doing fine. All I've asked for him is to show me something. He's shown me 2 wins on the bounce. I have nothing to complain about with him. I just I can't be bothered for the whole in or out thing. I'm just like, Potter, just keep getting results. That's all that I want. Keep getting results for our team, and we're fine.
And you're fully on the back 3, even though a lot of your fan base...
Don't ever change it. Don't ever change it, because as soon as we go to a back 4, midfield gets exposed. You can put one more attacker in there all you want. They're probably still not going to score. Build from the base and go forward. Go to a back 4 next season if you want, if we have a full team ready for it. Okay. But we don't. And we're trying to make do with it. As soon as we went to a back 4, our results fell off a cliff.
They did.
And they just never came back. Stick to what we know. What we know is the back 5. We get the best out of our defense, and it's perfect. It's fine.
No, that's fair. That's fair. And Starlord has a question here. He says, if you could bring back Tuchel, would you?
I think like everyone would bring back Tuchel. Like we've just gone back to what Tuchel was playing anyway. So yeah, if we could bring back Tuchel, I would, but we can't. We can't do it.
No. Fairs. And Justice says we have no real DM to so stay with the back three, which I think you're pretty much in agreement with because of the lack of DM.
Mm-hmm.
Even though the only DM you have, well, true say Zakari is not even a DM, so you don't really have one
he's
because
an
you
8
sold
too.
Jorginho. Yeah. That's what it is. And to D1 who says question for Flawless, how confident are you for the game against Betis? Very confident. I'm expecting a response because of what happened against Liverpool, so I'm extremely confident. May sound strange because of what just happened, but yes, it's Real Betis, and that one game against Liverpool doesn't take away from me personally from the progress that Manchester United have made this season. And add on top of that is Real Betis. If we was in the Champions League,
you gotta just have a result.
Yes, it's about having a result, a performance as well, and taking. As long as we take a lead, I've said this. As long as we take a lead over to Spain, I think we get through to the next round. Whether that's one goal or whether that's more. But if we win 2-0, 3-0, which I'm expecting us to, I'm expecting a big response. Whoever Ten Hag decides to play, because I know players are going to get dropped. 2-0 lead, and then we go on to Southampton. Then it's Betis away again, and then it's Fulham in the FA Cup quarterfinals before the international break. And that's how I'm looking at it. We could be in the FA Cup semi-finals and the Europa League quarterfinals after the leading into the international break. And that's what I'm happy about and what I'm gassed about. If we lose either one of those games or both, I will be pissed. I will be pissed.
Then there'll be a lot more questions. But for you guys, it's about the bounce back. I think you guys will as well, even in spite of the Liverpool performance. You guys have to respond. Betis, they're a tough side, but I do still think it's a bit winnable for you. Your home record's also been really good. You haven't lost since the Brighton game started the season.
Since the opening day of the season, and people forget that. People are letting this one game change everything. And when you go back and check, better Manchester United sides have been packed. You know what I'm saying? Mm-hmm. Not in terms of result. You lot did it to us. For those that don't know, because I had to go and search it because I couldn't remember what year it was, but I know there was the year Chelsea packed us. For those that don't know, the 99 team, we got packed 5-0 by Chelsea. 5-0. The 99 side people. Following
you guys still won the league that season, right?
We still won the league. This is what I'm saying. And yes, imagine that now. Imagine social media was about then. I was only a kid them times. I thought shit was all over. But obviously you're a kid. I'm not assessing it properly type of thing. But to my point is it's all about the bounce back and going on to win trophies. That's what it is. And to Wealth, who says Ten Hag should take the blame for that 7-0. 1, overplayed the team. 2, wrong lineup. 3, wrong tactics. 4, failed to shop at 4-0, turning into a legendary beating. I'm not just going to... Does Ten Hag take blame? Yes. But I'm not going to pinpoint one person in a 7-0 defeat. The manager and all the players are equal to blame. I am not pinpointing one person whatsoever, and I stand on that. That's why I've not heavily criticized any single player, because we can point out any individual. People trying to get onto Bruno. People trying to get onto Weghorst. People know my thoughts on Bruno. I've spoken on him in depth, but I'm not going to use that game to talk about his deficiencies. Same with the Weghorst, who has done well since he's jumped in. You could pick out any individual. We lost 7. That's what I would say to that.
They're all bad. Everybody was
they were all bad. That's what it is. And people want to pinpoint and say this proportion blame and say this person is more to blame than this person. No, they are all terrible. I am not. I've seen people. The craziest part is I've seen people trying to defend players after the game. That's the wildest shit.
Who?
That's the wildest shit. Yo, Twitter spaces.
Not the person. Who did they try to defend?
Oh, people trying to defend Bruno?
Huh?
Yes.
For
people
what?
Trying to defend Bruno, fam. Exactly. You know what it is? What you said. Player stance. We just got packed 7-0 by our arch rivals, the team I personally despise the most. As much as I get onto Arsenal, it's Liverpool. I'm Manc born and bred, people. That rivalry is ingrained in the city outside of football. For anyone who lives in Manchester, they'll tell you that. And people are still trying to defend Bruno. 7-0. I will not defend one single player. When I was on Shameless, I did not defend one single player. Lewis can vouch for that. Go watch that show. Troops' podcast. When Hassan was going in on the players actually talking about the game, which he did for a brief minute, I did not say anything. Butcher them for the game. The reason why you see me clapping back at Ryan on Shameless and clapping back at Hassan on Troops' podcast, on the Back Again podcast, is because them man were not talking about the game. They were talking about Ten Hag outside of that game. They were talking about Casemiro and other players outside of that game. People talking about both Ryan and Hassam talking about my response to the game. Like, don't worry about my response. Talk about the game. Like I said, you motherfuckers will never see me bleed. You will never see me sweat ever. And you received that. Because a lot of people thought I was going to duck.
Bro, I watched the whole watch along and you didn't even rage for a single goal. You're just never going to rage at anything. I've just accepted that.
Never. The only time you'll see me rage is when I believe the team is good enough and we fall short. That's why I will say. When the team is genuinely there and eventually it will get to that level, whether that's on
no, but even then it was good enough to not lose by 7.
Yeah, that's true. That's true. Yeah, that's a fair point.
You didn't let it get to you. And you know what? Yeah. Fair enough, because if that was like 7-0 to Arsenal or something, shit, I ain't got the words to describe what will be coming out of my mouth.
But like that's what it is, because I've said this before, I'll say this again. I've seen, not in terms of scoreline, people, I've seen worse. I've had more heartbreaking defeats as a United fan in terms of what's at stake. All that was at stake in that game is bragging rights, and it's horrendous. It's horrific, terrible result. I've seen us lose Premier Leagues on the last day. That is the most heartbreaking thing. I've seen us draw and lose games in the run-ins towards the back end of seasons where it's cost us. I've seen us lose Champions League finals. I've seen us lose Champions League semi-finals. I've seen us lose Champions League quarterfinals. The teams we shouldn't have lost to. That's the worst thing. Go back and check United's record when we've lost it. Certain times we got packed by quality sides, at Real Madrid, at Barcelona. Yeah, that sucks. But when it's sides who you're like, right, we could have won that. And they're the best teams. We had the GOAT manager. They're the best teams. So that's how I'm looking at it. But hey, everyone's different. Like I said, some people will rage and let them do that. Like, does it hurt? Absolutely, it sucks. But it's all about trophies. I said it on Troops' podcast. I say it on here again. Manchester United can still have a 10 out of 10 season. Because if we win 3 trophies, I'm over the moon. If we win 3 trophies, finish 3rd, quality season. And then we have to go and bounce back next. Well, not bounce back. Then go make an assault on the Premier League. Just get me to a Champions League quarterfinal and then see where we're at. Yeah, Mo, I know you're pinpointing Bruno. You're always on Bruno's case. I know this. But you lot continue to get your questions in, bump up the like, subscribe, all that good stuff as well. To Hazim, who says, to both of us, who would you rather have, Kamada or, I can't even pronounce my man's name, Dominic? I don't even know that guy's surname. I don't know about either of these players.
But I keep getting it wrong. But I don't know. I barely watched either of them. I know one of my mods is a second-tier scout in Russia, and he swears by Sobozai. He's saying like he's going to be the next big player. We need to be all over him. So I'm going to just go with that based off what he said, but I'm not even going to pretend I've watched either of them play. I'm going to keep an eye on Leipzig v City, though, just to watch him.
Yeah.
But I don't know.
I don't even know what position these two play. I'm not going to lie.
Sobozai is more of like a 10 or an 8. Kamada, okay. I have no clue. We just got linked with him like an hour ago.
Let us know in the chat, people, about these two players in terms of what teams do they play for? Kamada plays for who?
Kamada's for Frankfurt, Sobozai's for Leipzig.
Okay, let us know the positions, because you lot in the chat will know better.
I think Kamada's another cam, though, because they keep talking about both Mount replacements.
All right. All right, let us know, people. Please let us know. Big up Chelsea Fanatics, big up brothers. I hope Potter now knows to play Havertz deep-up rather than a false 9. What do you think about this?
Yes, but like Havertz also has to keep that performance up. Like we've seen Havertz play as a 10 before, and it just hasn't worked because like his awareness isn't there, or he struggles against teams that press him. I think like partly because of the Dortmund high line, partly because of also they actually afforded him space, but that's the best Havertz performance I've seen in ages. He has to keep it to that standard. And yeah, maybe play him a little bit deeper. Like maybe that would work a little bit more consistently. But we know where the standard is with him now. He just has to keep it at that level. Because the problem with him has always been individualistic, even in spite of like the system and everything. I look at the player and I see the problems with you fundamentally. Like don't see any strength. A struggle to win duels, very poor finishing, struggles to play in tight spaces, barely takes on a player. I saw none of that yesterday. Everything was on point. So all of my criticisms have been valid because you've shown me that's where you can be at now. So I need to see that at a higher level. Potter, yeah, fair enough. Maybe play Havertz a little bit deeper. You might get a little bit more out of him. but he has to channel that out of himself, because another thing this showed me is something I said as well. It's motivation. You can wake up for a Champions League final. You can wake up for a Carabao Cup final. You can wake up for a key knockout tie against Dortmund. But a league game, nope. This is the problem. I need that consistency. I need you to be constantly switched on. And we don't see that enough. So he needs to get more out of himself too. Give me that player a lot more towards the end of the season. And then, you know what? We could have a conversation about him being here long term. As of right now, unbelievable game. I will give him all the credit in the world for it. But I've been here before. And we've been. It's March. We are in second half of the season territory. I will not be fooled twice. Show me this consistently, and we will continue to praise you. As it stands right now, I will give you all the credit in the world for that Dortmund game. I will not take anything away from that performance. Do it again.
Yeah.
Simple as. Just do it again.
Yeah. I hear that, fam. I hear what you're saying. Let's see. Whoa. 1 second. Someone had a question where to get to. Here we go. Big up Regos Worldwide of Sports. Says, question for Lewis. In your front three, would you prefer a striker and 2 wingers, or just the inverted Christmas tree formation?
We'll see inverted. Oh, are you talking about like a false 9 and 2 wingers?
I think, yeah, when he's saying that, yeah, because there'd be a point. If it's a Christmas tree, it's like that. So, yeah, it'd be like a 9 or a false 9, and then 2 players, yeah, like 2 wingers next to him. Actually, clarify for us, Rego. But yeah, I'll let you respond anyway, but I'm sure we'll clarify.
I don't know, really, because it all depends on the players that you have there. Like, if I look at it right now, Havertz in a false 9, I don't mind, but he just struggles physically. Like, it is very easy to dominate him aerially and on the ground. Like, he just doesn't win a thing. But I get as well, like, if you had someone who could do that, and then you have wingers that run in behind, it works. It can work. The striker and the 2 wingers too. I just want someone physical in the middle. Give me a physical number 9. 2 direct. You know what? Striker and 2 wingers. I'd go for that. Striker and 2 wingers. Just keep it simple.
First. No, that's fair. Tomas Alu says, I heard Andy Goldstein on Talksport saying a 3-0 loss is worse than a 7-0 loss. I couldn't believe it. He said that. Thoughts on it, flawless. I actually seen this clip myself. I haven't heard the full show to hear the full context, but in the clip I seen that they put out, it didn't make sense to me what he was saying, because he was talking to Darren Bent about it, and Darren Bent was like, even he looked confused. So from that clip, solely from that clip, I didn't understand what he was trying to say.
Yeah, I think he's got to explain that.
Yeah, you got to explain that. Yes. I think he's just trying to do too much. You know what I'm saying? And that, rather than just call it for what it is. One thing you'll never see me
edgy all the time and everything.
Yeah, one thing you'll never see me do is defend that. Not once on any platform I've been on since that. You can hear it in my voice. My voice is still hoarse, people. That's how much I've been shouting for over 72 hours about this shit. I will not defend that performance or defend anybody in regards to that performance. Like I said, manager or player. Everyone knows I'm a big fan of Ten Hag, which I still am. There's certain players I'm still a big fan of, which I still am. Certain players I don't rate. But I'm not going to defend anyone specifically for that game. I don't even want to hear how sorry they are. Go and show that on Thursday. Go show that on Sunday, and for the rest of the season as well. Yeah, I think he's just trying to do too much. That's what I call mental gymnastics. That's what it sounds like. That's what it sounds like.
I don't understand that at all. Everyone wants to come and have edgy takes. I've seen Thiago Silva slander over the last 2 games because we're winning games.
About it.
There you go. Apparently, we play a lot slower with Thiago Silva, and we have to play a lot deeper when Thiago Silva plays. I've seen people put up charts and everything. Coincidentally, Thiago Silva's in a back 4 in the charts that they use, and we've been playing a back 5 the last 2 games. But yeah, that makes a lot of sense. Apparently, we are so much better without Thiago Silva in the squad because we can play a lot higher, even though at the start of last season under Thomas Tuchel, we had one of the highest defensive lines in the league, in spite of playing a back 3. But yeah, apparently Thiago Silva has been the real problem with us all season.
That is wild, Joe.
Thiago Silva.
Thiago Silva slander is wild, Joe. Because you won 2 games, because you might beat Leeds and beat Dortmund, then yeah, credit, got the results, but yeah, that's way too far.
That is ridiculous.
That's way too
like
far.
when in 2021, when Silva was out for about a month or two, and we brought Christensen into the lineup, and we we're keeping clean sheets, we weren't sitting there saying, "Yeah, get that grandpa out of the squad. AC's clear." No, we're like, we're fine without him, but we'll be just as fine with him in the squad. And that's all that I want. Thiago Silva's out the squad. We've kept 2 clean sheets. That don't make him the problem. It just means we have good defenders.
Yeah.
It's as simple as that. Why can we not be happy with that instead of just reverting to slandering one of the best centre-backs of all time, one of the best centre-backs in the league at 39 years of age? What are we doing? How tapped do we have to be as a fan base? We have had the biggest win of our season, and there are people out here turning it into, oh, I see what you mean about Thiago Silva. Yeah, we are actually better without him. You're stupid, man. I think he's still got our highest assist this season in the league, and he's a centre-back.
Wait, he's your top assister?
I think
he's top of the assist chart. That's crazy. That is crazy if he's top of the assist chart. That is wild. That is wild. Yeah, Thiago, and that's what people do. Rather than give credit to the Chelsea defenders who are playing well, all right, Thiago Silva must be the problem. Like you said, why can't Thiago Silva still be a quality defender, which he is, by the way, but the rest of your defenders are performing at a high level? Why can't you just give credit to both? Why do people always have to refer?
I think Thiago Silva comes in and we lose. Like, what?
Yeah, like, that's the crazy part. So what happens if you would have lost to Dortmund and Leeds, or drew both games? Then is it, all right, we need Thiago Silva back? And you know what? The slander would have been reversed. Would have been, oh, hey, Thiago Silva and these defenders. That's such a bad way to look at things.
Because I've seen a couple people who tried to start it around December. Yeah. And they were trying to say, oh, he takes too many touches on the ball. He slows down our build-up play. It's like, well, what do you mean? As one of the players furthest back, literally the middle of a back three, I feel like you have the time and space to be able to look up and pick out your passes. And second of all, at that time, he was still our highest assister. And we want to talk about him slowing down the game. People are stupid, man. People are so stupid.
That is so dumb.
And you know what the funniest thing is? Some of those accounts, you know what they'd get at me for? Havertz slander.
That's the craziest shit. Man. Like Thiago Silva to Havertz. Like, I don't think it's a comparison.
Thiago Silva's our problem. Stop slandering Havertz. What a load of stupidity, man.
Waffle merchants, as you call them. Well,
no, that is disgraceful to waffles, even in that case. Like, there's waffling and then there's just straight chatting shit. Like, what?
Yeah, there is straight rioting. That's what it is, man. That's what I call that. I call that rioting. You know what I'm saying? That is a Ryan take, innit? Thiago Silva's not the guy, but yo, Kai Havertz, put all your eggs in that basket. I really don't get it. I really don't get it
at all, man. But one day we can all be united and we're still trying to run agendas. Ridiculous.
And we kind of went through this, so I'll let you go through this briefly again because some people might have missed it. Dennis says, question to Lewis, what teams do you mind having in the quarterfinals? Bear in mind, Dennis is a Real Madrid fan as well.
Yeah, I only want Madrid for the away day. In terms of like best team for us, Inter, Porto, or Spurs, AC Milan. Give me anyone in those 2 ties and I back us.
Fairs. Big up True Blue says, Flawless, you said you need first team and squad players in the summer. What positions and who would you want to bring in? Who's tough? Because I don't think there's no one to mind in certain positions that pops up and I go and get him. But in terms of positions, first teamer, your left back, as much as Luke Shaw's done well this season, I don't forget about previous seasons. So yeah, I would still go and get a left back. And plus, I prefer Luke Shaw as a left-sided centre-back, even though he can still do a job at certain games at left back. But I'd like to see Luke Shaw as a left-sided centre-back. So go get a left back to compete. Go get a first-team left back and have them, a first-team left back and go compete with Malacia there. And you could have Shaw who can play out there as well, which is option. So definitely a left back. Upgrade on Eriksen to play next to Casemiro, 110%. Number 10, without doubt, definitely need an upgrade on Bruno. Yes, Sancho can play in there, but definitely need an upgrade on Bruno. And a number 9. So that's just 4 first teamers. Then as for backup, definitely another backup centre back because Lindelof, Maguire are not good enough. And I like Luke Shaw as a left-sided centre back. So basically a backup for Varane. Trying to think. Backup for Casemiro as well. So then it would be Casemiro, new central midfielder, Eriksen, backup for Casemiro. That's a good four to have. Diallo will be back to compete with Anthony for a right wing spot. Left wing, we got Rashford and Garnacho. At 10, you could have Sancho, the new 10, Bruno, all competing for there. Obviously, Sancho can play left, Bruno can play right, and then 2 strikers beyond that as well. I think we need 3 strikers. Martial can't stay fit, so he's no good, and we're short in that area anyway. The only senior striker we have that's fit and available is Weghorst. Weghorst I like. Is he good enough going forward? No, but I would sign Weghorst and have him as a third option. I'd go and sign senior striker number 1, have a younger backup to him, then Weghorst. We should have 3 strikers. So that's a lot. Yeah, that's a lot.
I feel like Weghorst would be calm being a number 3 as well.
Yeah, absolutely. That's what it is.
I don't think he ever thought himself being at a club like United.
Never.
So he ain't going to do nothing.
And people are like, Weghorst, I'm like, go find me a world-class a third-choice striker. They don't exist. Because if you're world-class, then you are playing first-team football somewhere. So that's what it is. That's how I'm looking. So go get 3 strikers. But it's like people lose sight of that. And True Blue also says no goalkeeper who will take De Gea's place at some point. Here's where I'm at with De Gea. If you want to, if United choose to upgrade on him, I'm cool with that and get a more modern day goalkeeper. If we choose to keep him, I'm also cool with that. Reports have come out and stated that when it comes to his contract, that he's going to take a pay cut. I'm okay with that. Certain people are like, let's keep De Gea. Certain people are like, let's get rid of him. Personally, I'm in the middle. I'm not fussed either way because there is improvements to be made because he's not a modern day goalkeeper. But I'll give De Gea his credit. He's improved. All the stuff that I've been critical of him, he's improved, coming off his line, sweeping up. I'd like him to come for more crosses and free kicks at that and corners, but he's improved on that as well. And even his distribution as well with his feet has improved. So that's what I would say.
Fair enough. You think he'd take competing for his position with someone?
You know what? Personally, I couldn't care less if he does or not. You know what I'm saying?
I hear that.
We try.
No, but I mean in terms of like, he's already taken a pay cut anyway, though, so I don't think he cares. But yeah, you gotta just keep competition high anyway.
Yeah, keep competition high. It's all about, is there an improvement for him? So that's why when True Blue first asked the question, there's certain players I would take, but then I hate when people say, oh, there's nobody out there. That's always one of the defenses of Bruno. Oh, there's not another number 10. No. Correct. No. That's not correct. Say it how it is. You personally don't know another number 10. I personally can't think of a 10 that I'm like, yes, go and get. But guess what? Martinez has been one of our best players all season. This time last year, nobody was talking about Martinez to Manchester United. Yeah, forget the 7-0 against Liverpool. I'm talking.
Bro, just look at everyone we're linked with.
Been incredible.
Saharian, what's his name? Shobazai, Kamada. Yeah, there's options there. Like, we've been looking for 10s the whole year, basically, with Mason Mount likely to leave. So there are players out there. Yeah, and they probably would do better than Bruno.
And this is my point. So, and people forget as well, Martinez was second choice this summer. Our first choice was Timber. And we went in for Timber and it didn't happen. And then we signed Martinez. Same way we got Malacia for 12 million. Nobody wasn't talking about Malacia. Of course, you can go and get your known players. You can go get Casemiro. You can go get Eriksen and they fit in. But I hate this whole notion of there's nobody in the market. No, we personally don't know anybody in the market. Because it's like we forget that. And when I say we people, I'm talking about people who try to defend these players by saying there's no one out there. If they're not in the Premier League, they don't exist. That's not the case. Martinez has been one of the best centre-backs in the Premier League. This time last year, you know what I'm saying, 8th of March, 2023, nobody was talking about Martinez. He wasn't on nobody's radar. Nobody was mentioning him. No content creators was talking about him. But yet now he's at Manchester United and he's one of the main fixtures in our football team. And that's how I look at it with these things. So go. I mentioned Maddison. I take Maddison from Leicester in a heartbeat. 100%. In terms of players, take Maddison as a 10. I'm a big fan of Onana. I've said that I will take him as backup to Casemiro. Big fan of him from Everton. I like Paulina from Fulham as well when it comes to midfielders. Left backs, nobody sticks out to me. Backup centre backs, nobody sticks out to me, but they're definitely out there. So that's why I more so name positions rather than actual players. Right? But I can give you the profile of what I want to see. Go get a Casemiro.
Yeah, people just deep that we ain't scouts. Like, I'll say I need a striker. I need a midfielder and stuff. They'll be like, oh, so who do you think we should get then, seeing as you know someone? I don't know. But I know we need that.
We need that. That's my point. That is my point. Like 100%. I'm not sure what's going on in regards to his case, but I would go and get Ivan Toney. I've spoken on this. 110%. I'd go get Ivan. And everybody has that response. Shout out to Northside. I was on his channel yesterday. He's an Arsenal fan. And I said Ivan Toney. He said, yo, leave him alone. I want him at Arsenal. Everybody's on the
same
Ivan
energy,
Toney
bruv. That guy, that's the number 9 I want at my football club, bruv. I hope he ain't banned. I hope they just give him like a 2 million fine or something. Maybe Bowley could even help him out with that. But yeah, I've got the same energy as Northside. Leave that guy alone. That brother's mine.
Everybody says that. Harry Kane, I've spoken on for the right price. I said I would take Harry Kane last year of his deal. If it's 50, 60 million, yes, but I'm not paying 80, 90, 100 million for anybody. And that includes Harry Kane. The only one that I would pay that money for is Kylian Mbappe. That's the only player I want to see, man. That's just my personal opinion.
For 90 million? No, because Mbappe, you'd have to pay way more than that anyway.
Yeah. I'm just pointing out he's the only player I want us to spend big on.
Oh, so you wouldn't want to spend 80, 90K on any player in general?
Nah. I don't think any player is worth it.
Too many times, or
I just don't think any player is worth it. If you look at it, let's actually break it down. If you sign a player for 80 million, what is the return where you go, all right, we got our money? To me, you have to do a hell of a lot. You have to, I'm saying Prem or Champions League. Personally, if I'm spending 80, 90, 100 million on you,
I think you got to do it even more than once as well.
This is the point I'm making. Like, because even Casemiro wasn't that much. Varane wasn't that much. Martinez wasn't that much. Rashford was. Our 4 best players this season all didn't cost that much. And obviously, Rashford came through the youth system. So, like, if you cost that amount of money, you're already under immense pressure coming to Manchester United anyway. It's all eyes on you. All of a sudden, everybody's an expert on you. Everyone's looking into what you did previously, where you play. Everyone's making comps. Everyone's on your case. And rightfully so, when you come in for a lot of money. Absolutely. But that just adds to the pressure of it. That's why people are on Anthony's case. Does Anthony need to improve? Absolutely. A little bit too one-dimensional for my liking. Been injured too much this season. But he's now 23, but he came in at 22. He was here at 22, but I need to see more. But I've seen enough where I go, all right, it could be further. But if you're 80, 90, 100 million, how do you repay that? To me, that's champs in Premier League.
Before last season, our entire top 10 transfers was just a bunch of flops in Jorginho. So I hear you.
This is my point. You know what I'm saying? And this is my point. And to Marcel, who says the market is different these days, Flawless. It's not like back in the day when 50 million gets you a world-class player. No, this is why you have to, again, this comes back to what Lewis just said. It's about scouting. You can go and get a world-class player for 50 M's. We just don't know he's world-class. Before Marcel, your better teams. How much was Salah? How much was Mane? No one were calling these man world-class before you lot signed him. And then they came to your team and then it became what? No one wasn't calling Robertson world-class when you lot signed him from Hull for, what was it, 4 million? All of a sudden, we're talking about that. Fabinho, the same. I'm saying, even Van Dijk.
The only person who came into that team and was like world class from the off before they even signed was probably Alisson.
It's probably
nobody else.
And like, that's legit where it's at. And even Alisson, people weren't saying at that time when they signed him.
Even then, 70 mil was a bit more. I say that we spent 72 million on Kepa the same window, but the point still stands.
So that's what it is, Marcel. This is about our scouts doing their job. And not necessarily finding a world-class player straight away, but finding someone who can potentially become world-class. Yes, it's easy to go get a Casemiro or Varane. Obvious. That is obvious. It's easy to go get, for Chelsea, a Thiago Silva. Obvious, you know their quality. But the scouts need to earn their money. You know what I'm saying? They need to go earn their P's. And that's what I appreciate it. So Flawless, I was very impressed with how well you fought on Troops' butt. You had no leg to stand on, but still held your own. I still got the bullet holes in the vest, man. You know what I'm saying?
Bro, I have to respect it, man. You could have held so much corner and you managed to spin it about half the times. It's like, I was actually impressed. I was sitting back like, oh, fucking hell, bro. Shameless was different, though. Shameless was different. How you spun that after losing 7-0 hours before, I'll never know.
Because he jumped the gun.
It's like you pulled a comeback and won 8-7. I was like, what?
Because
it felt different, bruv.
Yeah, man. It has to be done, man. That's just, you know what that is? That's just being in walls constantly, like verbal, innit? That's primary school, that's high school, that's college, that's group chats, that's socials, innit? Like, I've been here doing this shit for the longest. That's where that comes from. Walter says, Lewis, if the price was the same, who would you pick? Ivan Toney or Osherman? Because you've been linked with Osherman as well as we've been linked with Osherman. But Osherman's been linked with a lot of Premier League clubs. Go on, fam.
I'd go Ivan Toney. Partly just because I've seen him a bit more. I know everything that he offers with us, and I think Osimhen probably needs a bit more time to adapt to the Premier League. Ivan Toney, I think he comes in, and I think he just clicks immediately, personally.
No, that's
But yeah,
fair.
just Toney.
That's fair. And Surfer says here, no goalkeepers. Magnon's the first name. Raya Sanchez, Onana from Inter, Cobble from Dortmund. Yeah, because man, I've mentioned Mike Mignon. I've not seen. He's actually been injured. I was interested to watch him because I've heard a lot about him. Obviously, he got injured. He missed the World Cup, and he's still been injured for AC Milan as well. But
Didn't
speaking
see
of that,
either time last when we played them.
So I actually want to see how good he is because people always wax lyrical about him. I'm saying always wax lyrical about him. But speaking of players who are injured, the guy that's always he's such a polarizing figure in your fan base, Mason Mount. Thoughts, contract negotiations, to my knowledge, obviously correct me if I'm wrong, have stalled. Doesn't look like if he's going to stay. Your thoughts on it?
Yeah, like apparently Mason Mount has hired a new PR team. That's the recent news that we've heard. And well, fucking overdue because whoever was running his PR before has just tanked it. I don't think he's going to re-sign. Like, the deepest thing is, you think he's injured. He hasn't even been injured. He's just been dropped. Injured. Yeah, the Champions League, he was suspended. He got a yellow card in the first leg, so he was out. Okay. But he hasn't started the last 2-3 games. He's just been on the bench, been coming off. Part of me thinks maybe Potter's trying to like work some man management on him, like he did with Cucurella. But part of me also thinks like it's because of the contract. They're not reaching any agreement. He's not in the long-term plans. So they're just not playing him anymore. And I have got no complaints about it. That brother's been crap all season. I couldn't care less. And to me, we're attacking a little bit better without him in the team. So it is what it is. But to me, I've said it all season. And I'll say even again here, a lot of people, anyone who's still backing Mount at this point is just a player stan. This guy has been poor all season, was poor for periods last season and saved himself with goals and assists. We played 22 teams last season. He scored against 5 of them. Most of them were in the bottom half of the table. And also robbed Thiago Silva blind of the Player of the Year award, but that's based on our fan base, so I can't say too much about that. But everyone's screaming patience for Mason Mount and all of that. Why am I going to be patient for someone who is not in our long-term plans? Mount, if Mason Mount re-signed the contract, cool. You can look at things from a bit of a different perspective. You could say, just put him on the bench for a little while. See if that does him the world of good. He is not re-signing. He's asking for close to Reece James amount. What's even mad about it is that we offered that to him. And he said no because of image rights, contract length, and something else as well. And again, that also walks into the proper Chelsea narrative because it's like, how are you proper Chelsea if you don't want to sign for 6 to 8 years? Oh, but he wants to look after his long-term future. So how is he proper Chelsea if he doesn't want to re-sign for 6 to 8 years? Because when it was Reece James, the guy was like, oh, we can't make Reece James the captain because he's always injured. Reece James just signed. No questions asked. Just signed the contract. Mason Mount is doing all of this crap and he's not even justifying the amount that we've offered him on the pitch. He is not in our long-term plans. So I've got no reason to be patient with him. Give me results now or just leave because you're going to leave in about 3 months anyway, the way things are going. I couldn't care less with this guy about this point. It's just daily news that contract talks haven't gone anywhere. They're going to offer him something in the summer. If he doesn't accept that, he will leave. I think he's probably just going to leave. And I don't really care. Big up for 2021 and everything. You were one of our best players in the run to the Champions League. That was 2021. This is 2023. Football is a what have you done for me now business. And all you've done for me is caused me headaches. So leave. I couldn't care less. Liverpool can have you. You can have Henderson 2.0. It's all good.
What? Does his contract run out 2024? Is that right?
Yeah. Next year. 1 year left. So they're not going to put themselves in the same position they put with Jorginho, with Kante, with AC and Rudiger the year before that. They are not going to put themselves in that situation because AC and Rudiger is the reason why we had to spend 120 million on centre-backs. Jorginho being sold with 6 months left, still didn't really understand that, but it's part of the reason why we had to rush the Enzo deal. And N'Golo Kante, we're still not even sure whether he's re-signing. they will not put himself in that situation. We've heard from sources that anyone with 2 years left on their contract or less by the summer could leave if they don't re-sign. And he doesn't want to re-sign. So leave. Bye-bye.
Wow.
One of our worst players this season. I couldn't care less whether he stays or goes.
So you're like, yeah. And what fee would you look at him for? What's the fee you're looking for him?
You could get 60 million for him.
Like
English tax and everything. We had 40 million offered to us from Everton for Gallagher. If we can get 40 for Gallagher, we can get 60 for Mount. I'm sure of that, even with a year left. Wow. Or maybe with a year left, it goes down to 50-40. I don't care. The way he's been playing, he's worth like 15. So, I don't care. Whatever you can get for him, just get rid.
Wow. You lot in the comments, continue to get your questions in. Get your questions in for Lewis. Obviously, if you got questions for both of us, that is also fine. If you super chat, I'll get straight to it. But continue to get your questions in. Bump up the likes as well. We're at 89. Let's get us up to 100 likes
as well. This is not. I'm not mad that he cares about his long term, but I'm mad that you give this proper Chelsea narrative for about 3 years, and then you don't want to commit your long term future to the club. Future captain, next Lampard, all of that. You've seen all the PR over the last 3 years around Mason Mount, how he's the face of the club. He's the future of Chelsea Football Club and everything. It's looking like he's our past, because everything good about Mason Mount was from our past. So to me, it's like, yeah, you don't want to be a part of our long-term future because you don't want to sign a contract for 6 to 8 years. So don't be a part of our future. Leave. I couldn't care less. This is not like a De Bruyne situation. This is not like a Salah situation. De Bruyne had 6 appearances for Chelsea before he was sold. Most were on the bench, or they were League Cup appearances. Salah had 12 before we got rid of him. Mason Mount has 127 and counting. He ain't the same. He's had opportunities. He has regressed in every fact. We said the whole argument before was play him as an 8. We played him as an 8 and he got worse. It's pointless. He's a squad player and nothing more.
Fairs. And he said, okay, I get what you mean, Lewis. And big up True Blue for the super chat. It says, big up Flawless, Reverse Cook, and Ryan, and Hassam. I'm fighting for my life. You know what I'm saying? That's all I'd say. You lot bump up the likes. We're at 91 likes. Get us up to 100 likes, people. Make sure you do so. And subscribe, man. If you're enjoying the content, subscribe to the channel. You see Lewis here all the time, like he said himself. Second home, Sarcasm City TV special, where we give, you know what I'm saying, the biggest and the best content creators their flowers. We're at 5,641. Let's bump that up 9 more, man. Let's go to 5,650. Let's do that. 9 more. There's over 150 of you lot locked in right now. Pay the toll when you enter the city of Sarcasm. All you have to do is pay the tax, and it's free. Hit the like button, subscribe. That's all I ask of you lot. Obviously, please share across the socials as well, and continue to get your questions in. Eric here says, Flawless, would you let Casemiro go to us to pair us with Enzo, please? I'm glad you put the laughing emoji on the end, didn't it? I respect that. I do respect that. Speaking of that, Enzo, how's he been?
He's been good. He's been really good. Like, he's just struggled with the fact that our midfield isn't really that great, and he's kind of holding it all together. But I think he's still shone in spite of that. Gets dribbled past a couple times, but that's going to happen when you don't have a cohesive midfield. Passing's been good, though. Tackling, reading of the game, dictating the tempo, everything you could ask for him, he's been brilliant at. All we need is to just surround him with better players, and you'll get a much better Enzo as a result. But as a start, he could have easily been poor. He could have easily just struggled, looked absolutely terrible, and just needed time to adapt. But no, he's come in. You can see the individual brilliance on him every time that he's on the ball. And yeah, I can't wait to see who we pair with him, because he's going to be the centerpiece of our midfield. It's just a shame that we're forcing him to play as a 6 right now. But the fact we're doing that, and in spite of that he looks good individually, says more about him than anything else.
First, is there an ideal, because obviously that's somewhere you're going to strengthen in the summer and go get a first teamer. Is there an ideal candidate to play alongside him that you want in particular?
Lavia as a start. Lavia as a sitter, I'd take. I'm not too sure, because it depends on the position you could play. You could play as an 8 or a 10 and be excellent. You just need to let him roam a little bit further forward. So you could say Lavia, maybe a Caicedo, maybe you could say a Rice, maybe you could say Quadio Kone potentially. I know it's been a younger option that we've been linked with too. I'm not sure. Those are just a few names, but like we said, we ain't scouts. Like, I'm sure whoever Vivell goes for, I have blind faith in him because nearly every transfer that we brought in for him has worked. And there hasn't been a single Vivell transfer that I've looked at and said, why have we signed him? It makes no sense. So to me, just do your thing and I will just follow. I will follow.
I hear you. And hey, large up Saeed in the cut as
Big
well.
up
You lot,
Saeed.
make sure you go subscribe to Saeed's channel because that is what he is one of the YouTubers who was on content creators who was out here after that Liverpool debacle. He was out here. He was on the front line as well. You know what I'm saying? He repped. He was 10 holes down in the trenches. You know what I'm saying? He was on Big Six. He was on his own channel. He did all of the appearances and all of the shows. He normally does that. He says, new show, G's, hardest working YouTuber. Hey, love Saeed, man. Much appreciated. Big up to you. You know what I'm saying? And I'm going to get Saeed back on there for those that haven't seen these shows before. Sarcasm City TV specials. It's where I do a one-on-one with the biggest and best content creators in their game. And then give them their flowers. That's what it is. Don't wait till people pass to give them their flowers. Give them their flowers now. This is Lewis's second appearance. That's why he's you're the first two-time appearance on the Sarcasm City TV specials. I've had Saeed on here before. Lee Gunn has been on here before. Hassam as well. There's a playlist for it, so make sure you go check out. I'm definitely going to get Saeed on another one of these as well. You'll see Lewis back on one of these, of course, because like I said, man, you got to give people their flowers. Just because you see Lewis on here often, don't forget all the work he's done. Because how long you been doing this now, fam? How many years?
I've been doing YouTube since about 2017, but I only took it serious from about 2020.
Yeah.
Before that was like side thing with YouTube and just also the channel politics at the time.
Yeah. Well, you still been out here, whether it's your channel or other channels, doing absolute bits. You know what I'm saying? And that, like, that's my point.
We started like the last time we won the league, 16-17.
See, you know what I'm saying? So 2016. So fam, you closing in like 7
That's when I didn't give a shit about my hair and had some porn stash. We've grown. We've grown.
We have, and look what's happened. So that's why I'm saying, like, not only the amount of people, if you go back and look from that year all the way through to now, who aren't here anymore. A lot of people.
Even Saeed, like I remember bucking Saeed the first time. I think we lost 2-0 to you guys in the cup. For which one? We lose to you all the time. The FA Cup. Yeah, you know when Ole was still into him. Ole's at the wheel the last 15 minutes. Yeah, I remember bucking Saeed and Flex after the game. He gave me the fattest spliff to get over that result. And yeah, this has been vibes ever since. Big up, my G, Saeed.
Yeah, big up. And that's my point is you, Saeed, the others, I'm all for that. Like I said, I give people that, because what here isn't easy, people. Not only for a short period of time, for 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 years, to do this not only for that long, but consistently, and be motivated and put out quality content and help other, you know what I'm saying, content creators in the game like myself. I owe a lot to Lewis, a lot to Saeed and others as well. I give people their flowers and never forget who helped, man, because these men could easily just close down their channels and just have it just themselves. But you see Lewis, you know what I'm saying, the amount of content creators you see on his channel. Saeed the same, myself included in that. Both of these two dons have me on there. So yeah, man, big up every single time.
Gotta be this channel next. That's why I keep telling everyone sub.
Yeah, man. It was,
I've seen the numbers here growing as well. Yo, it's been a great year for the channel so far.
Great year, but you've been a massive help to that. So much appreciated as always.
Every time, bro.
Before we close out, obviously we spoke about Enzo. I want to speak about your other big, not money, but yeah, it was big money signing, even though it was a loan signing in January. Joao Felix, how's he done?
He's looked really good, but it's like I just wish he was a bit more clinical. That's all. Like in terms of take-ons, in terms of decision making, like the quality stands there. He's been our best attacker personally in that regard. It's just the finishing isn't even like shit. It's just unlucky. Like you got Dortmund where he hit the post and then he skied one. He hit the crossbar again against Leeds. And those are the differences between we did win the Leeds game, but it was a difference in the Dortmund game. That I couldn't even get too mad about him at that point because it's like our attack is all just impotent as hell. Just welcome to the club, but at least you look a lot more technically sound than everybody else. But in terms of signing him, because we'll probably have to pay close to around 100 million for him, I don't know right now if that would be the right move because we do have Nkuku coming in the summer, plays in the same position. We're looking for another 10-2. We've still got Havertz here. I don't know whether he's going to stay or leave. Maybe if we offered someone the other way, like maybe Mount, maybe Havertz, maybe both, maybe Lukaku, Maybe all three. I don't mind. I really don't mind. If you put a player in the deal, cool. Bring in Felix. But as of right now, like you said, Assad, I'm kind of on the fence.
He said I'm
I
on the
don't
fence with
go with
Felix.
it.
He seems all style, no substance. He started off well, then fizzled out. And that's the
That's the
vibes
thing,
I've
it's just
got from watching him.
moments.
Yes.
He's another one that's just flashy. Like he'll come into the game, he'll come back out of the game, he'll come in, he'll come out, but he'll never really control it for a full 90 minutes. But the ability is there. I do look at him. I don't think you're a bum or anything like that. I think you're a quality player. I can see the quality there. It's just I need a little bit more of the end product because there's not a lot of time for him left to prove himself. But we'll see. We'll see. I don't think he's crap. Is he 100 million? I don't see that. I don't see that really. Like, yeah. If it stays like this, I'd just rather stick with Nkuku unless you can get a player in the deal.
Okay. And what would you like to see in regards to let's say Graham Potter is still the manager at Chelsea Football Club to start next season. I'm guessing you would prefer the back three to start next season, that as the formation. So what first team positions would you like to see be improved upon? Where do you look at and go, that needs to be improved upon? And how would you play the three? Would it be a 3-4-3 in your for your preference, or would it be a 3-5-2? Or a mix of both?
Yeah, mix of both really. Just stick to the back five and we can work from there depending on what sort of team that we play. But I'd keep the back five same for now. Okay. So when Silva's fits, just ease him in whenever you need to, because we can just ease him in now. We don't need to just rush him straight into the squad. Say Enzo and Kova for now, but even then, like Kova wasn't great in the first half. He grew into it. Front three, Havertz did enough in that game for him to start the next match, but I still got an eye on him. The jury's still out. And then it would just be Felix and Sterling. But both of them, it's again two flashy players. Sterling, like he's good, but he comes in and out of games, and like he struggled. He struggled in the first 30 though. Him 1v1 is about as bad as Havertz is 1v1. Neither of them are scoring. Neither of them. Sterling will give you good movement in the box, good pass. Everything he does in the box is great, except maybe just the finish. He's just very, very scruffy with his finishes. Even that one, I saw City fans saying that was the most Sterling goal that they've ever seen. And then they showed clips of Sterling scoring the same sort of goal, where he scuffs the first one and smashes the second one in. It's like, yeah, it's just a bit confusing. But like Sterling, I know the quality's there with him. Like he's good at beating players. If it's not through direct dribbles, it's through feints. He has good delivery into the box. He can create. He can finish. It's just a consistency thing with him. Same thing with everyone else. The difference is Sterling has pedigree, so I can give him time. I know with better players, there's a better Sterling.
Oh, absolutely. Absolutely. That's a big fact. That's a big fact. 110%. Yo, Lewis, blessed for doing this. Much appreciated as always, getting you on the Sarcasm City TV specials, giving you your flowers. And obviously, it's only right that you were the first person to appear twice, you know what I'm saying, on this show. I will continue to do these specials, people. Just keep a lookout, but they won't be like regular. There won't be regular schedule for them. That's why they're specials, because they don't happen all the time. Let them know where they can find you, though, Lewis, what you've got coming up, all that good stuff.
Yeah, just Carefree Lewis G or Chelsea Fan TV. Got plenty of content coming out on both channels. And yeah, there'll probably be some transfer stream tomorrow. I need to do some Kamada research.
Okay.
So we'll probably talk about that tomorrow and whatever else comes out. But yeah, it's a little bit more optimistic over there now. It's a little bit more optimistic. So yeah, check it out. Like, subscribe here as well, and big up.
Yeah, Carefree Lewis G. The link is in the title for Lewis's channel, and the link for his channel is in the description underneath on every single live stream. Every single live stream, if you go, you'll see Lewis's channel and all the other Sarcasm City TV socials, all the audio platforms, SoundCloud, Spotify, iTunes as well. In regards to Sarcasm City today, Bayern versus PSG, the second leg will be live on the Sarcasm City TV Twitch. Make sure if you're here on the YouTube, get over and follow the Twitch. Download the app for free, sign up for free, and in the same way, the same way you watch and comment here is the exact same way on Twitch as well. And we have different content over there. So for instance, you won't get You won't get Sarcasm City TV specials over on the Twitch, but then you won't get the Champions League watch-alongs here on the YouTube. They're on the Twitch. So yes, Sarcasm City TV Twitch, Bayern versus PSG, second leg, and then back here on the YouTube, 11:30 p.m. Myself and Saint, Manchester United Liverpool show, Man United versus Man United meets analysis at Anfield. Yeah, that's gonna be crazy because Saint gonna be on the utmost smoke. So make sure you're there. And Prime said it here. Yeah, that's tonight, 11:30 p.m. Yeah, it's gonna be crazy. All the shows I mentioned are on the upcoming live stream schedule here on the YouTube and on the Twitch. So if you missed anything, you can go check it out there. Make sure you check it out on a daily basis because I update it weekly. Speaking of Flowers Flawless, don't think we didn't notice. Take note, You Fucked Up official video. Yes, I'm gonna end this stream and the premiere starting in literally a minute, people. So everyone, make sure you head over there, literally heading over. So you're going to get redirected. But this has been the Sarcasm City TV special with the special guest, Carefree Lewis G, live on the Sarcasm City TV YouTube. Big up for tuning in.